everyone, today we are out here with not one, but two Yamaha T7s. These things have been out for a few years and they've already got a cult following. They've got a super durable power plant, it's reliable, they're great at a lot of different types of riding. Poltaris has already proved that. And there's tons of accessories out on the market that you can put on these things and really make the machines your own. So Justin here, he's got his set up for more aggressive off-road riding. And my bike, this one is set up for adventure touring. So putting down the miles, whether it's on pavement or dirt roads. So let's go ahead and get into what makes each of these bikes unique.
What's up guys, Justin here. I'm one of the product development engineers at Rocky Mountain ATV-MC. This is my Yamaha Tenere 700 build. I bought it brand new. I've been riding it a ton. I've had to upgrade it a lot to kind of meet my needs of riding. I've ridden anything from gnarly single track, some two track, even done 1,000 miles in a day. This thing really does it all. I've had to upgrade it quite a bit to meet my needs, but I think I found the perfect combination to make it the best bike for me. As Charles just said, I geared this thing more towards off-road riding. Let's take a look at some of the parts I put on to help me achieve that. So the first thing I'm gonna do is replace the tires. The stock tires on this bike are not gonna hold up to off-road riding. These are the Tusk 2-track tires. Great off-road, great on-road. I've taken it through the twisties, probably too fast, and it holds on great. I've ridden on single track, 2-track, and I've done long commutes. It's still hanging on. So number 2 on the list is gonna be suspension. The stock T7 has fully adjustable suspension, but it's way undersprung from the factory. I went with Race Tech stiffer springs, both front and rear, and it completely changed how this bike rides. It's much more balanced, the bottoming resistance is increased, and stuff that I used to slow down for, I just go right over now. That's why this is the second thing I would recommend doing. So number 3 is gonna be protection. The first thing I'm gonna start with is the handguards. These are Tusk D-Flex Pro handguards, and they were actually the first thing I put on my bike. They help protect your clutch and brake lever, and they also give you a little bit of wind protection on the colder days. After that, I'm gonna go to the crash bars. These are the Tusk crash bars. I've tested these things thoroughly, and they work awesome. They've been proven reliable, and they're a great addition to your bike. They help protect your radiator, your fairings, and even your gas tank. Third is gonna be the Tusk Quiet Glide skid plate. This thing's awesome. It's made of thick aluminum, but it also has a UHMW cover on the bottom. That UHMW helps you slide over rocks where a typical aluminum skid plate would get hung up. Last is gonna be the Chirby's frame protectors and case guards. These things are great. I've dropped the bike several times and the case guards held up awesome. The frame guards keep the paint on your frame. They look cool, and they also give you a little bit more grip on the bike. So my last top recommendation is gonna be the chain guide. If you're on an adventure bike, you're most likely out in the backcountry, and if your chain falls off, it's gonna be a nightmare scenario. I added the primary drive chain guide to keep that chain on, and while you're at it, you might as well throw on the primary drive performance gold chain. It's excellent quality and perfect for replacing your OEM chain when it wears out. So guys, that was my top mods that I'd recommend to really transform your bike to do more aggressive riding. There's definitely some other stuff I did, some personal preference, some because it's pretty sweet. Let's start off with controls. First thing I did was add the Fast Company Flex Bar. I went with the 12-degree Adventure Standard bar. It's more moto style, it's pretty straight, and it's about the same height as the factory bar. Best part about it is it reduces fatigue and vibration. On the long days, it really makes the ride better. If you're running these flex bars, Tusk offers handguard adapters that make it pretty easy to mount any handguard to this handlebar. Next on controls, I changed out the grips. I actually did something a little different on this bike. I've tried the Renthal grips, I've tried Pro Taper. I actually tried a foam grip on this bike. I've been watching a lot of Dakar videos. It seems like all the desert guys run foam grips. So I went the Pro Grip 785, and so far I've been liking it a lot. It reduces vibration, it's not too big, which is one of the worries I had, and it works great off-road. Last thing I did was change out the foot pegs. I went with the Fastway Adventure foot peg. This has a huge platform area. It's much bigger than the OEM peg. It's height adjustable, camber adjustable, and even the pins are adjustable. So after controls, some other stuff I added the Tusk high fender kit. This thing is awesome when you're in muddy conditions. A couple weeks ago, found out firsthand why this thing's so important. Luckily, it wasn't me. It was a couple friends from work, but that low fender will just pack your front wheel with mud and you'll be stuck in your tracks. This thing bolts right on, comes with new brake lines, mounting bracket, super easy to install. It's a great upgrade for this bike. On the back of the bike, I installed the Tusk fender eliminator. This thing's awesome. The stock license plate holder, turn signal holder is gigantic. It bounces all around when you're riding off-road, and it's awesome to get it out of there. This thing is nice and small. It holds your license plate light, and your turn signals. It cleans up the bike a lot, reduces some weight, and it's a great addition. After that, I added the Yamaha Rally seat. I love this seat. It is quite taller than the OEM one. I'm 6 feet tall, and it fits me great. On the long highway rides, it really lets your legs relax a bit more. But for some shorter riders, it might be a little too tall. My favorite thing about the seat, other than the additional height, is underneath it, it has a cavity that I store my Tusk tool roll in. My whole toolkit lives in this seat at all times, and it's good peace of mind to have it in there. On the sides of the bike, I added these protection decals from Attack Graphics. It really just protects your fairings from your legs rubbing up on the side of the bike when you're standing. That offers a little bit more grip too. Under the seat is where the airbox is on the T7. I replaced the OEM filter with the Tusk First Line air filter. It's foam, you can wash it, reuse it. And the best part about them is they're small. You can take a clean one and take it with you on a long ride. So one of my favorite things I put on this bike was the Yoshimura exhaust. Performance aside, this thing makes the bike sound so good. The T7 already sounds good from the factory, but this thing takes it to the next level. It also sheds a few pounds and it looks great. So onto the luggage. I went with a rackless system rather than the pannier system. It's really good for keeping your luggage tight on the bike and really low. And when this thing's fully loaded, sometimes you can barely tell it's even on there. This is the Tusk Highland X2 system. It's the biggest we offer, and it's great for multi-day rides. On longer rides, I throw all my camping gear in a top duffel. This is the side load 22-liter duffel, and it works great. There's larger ones available as well. Up front, I run the Tusk Olympus small tank bag. This is great for all the essentials. You can put your wallet in it, your cell phone, some chapstick, and it's a good addition to the front of the bike. To wrap up, there's a few extra small parts I added. Starting with the brakes, I threw in some Galfer brake pads. They're sintered metal compound. It's the HH compound. And the T7 stock, the brakes feel a little spongy, especially the rear. And just slapping in these pads, I can definitely feel some improvement. Up front, I run a Garmin Zumo XT GPS, and I use the Rally Raid mount to put it on the crossbar on the front end. It's a great mount. It puts the GPS right above your dash, and it has perfect visibility. So the last thing for the luggage is on the sides. This is actually a new product that I've been personally working on for Rocky Mountain, is the Tusk Soft Luggage Racks. These things help hold the luggage off the body. The T7, the plastic panels on the side are quite brittle, and if you tighten down your luggage too much or it's bouncing around, it can potentially crack it. I have some scuffs on mine from before I was running these, and after, it's been working out pretty good. So that's it. We're wrapping up on my T7 build here. This thing is constantly evolving. I'm still going to be changing parts on it, but for right now, it fits my riding style perfectly. It's really a do-it-all bike, and by putting the right parts on it, you can make it anything you want.
So right here we have the white bike. Again, this is the Adventure Touring bike. Now, we've had T7s for a long time. We even had a European model before the 21s were released in the US. We're just getting product ready. So we've tried a lot of different setups on these bikes. And you know, at Rocky Mountain, we normally are geared more towards off-road riding, but we wanted to show you guys something different and do something different with this bike. So again, this setup is all about comfort. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of these parts. So the first thing for adventure touring we wanted to bump up was our fuel range. So on the stock tank, we're getting about 160 miles, and really that all depends how you ride it. But if you're a real aggressive rider on that throttle, especially on the highway, freeway, things like that, it's gonna suck gas. So we wanted to get above the 200-mile range. We put this Cherubi's 6.1 gallon fuel tank on there. It adds almost 2 gallons of capacity. And again, it's getting us over that 200-mile mark. Second thing we did on this bike is a rear shock spring. So with a touring bike, you're carrying more weight in the back. You wanna get that spring to be able to handle the weight of the extra load you're adding on there. And like Justin said, these things are undersprung out of the factory. We wanted to keep the bike balanced, and we are doing some off-road riding, so we upgraded the front springs as well. If you're not sure which ones to get, we've got a drop-down menu on our website, and we've got install videos on our YouTube channel as well. The third thing we wanted to look at with this touring bike is luggage. So this is going to be a lot different setup than somebody that's doing mostly off-road. We want to be able to carry a lot of different items with us. We're putting down the miles, and we want easy access to the luggage. We want it to be secure. So we went with these Tusk panniers. It comes with the top rack, and then we have the hard boxes on the side. So these aluminum panniers, these are the large size boxes. But if you don't want something this big, you can get something smaller. You can get the mediums, or you can get those Olympus soft panniers on there as well. So it's personal preference. And then we've got the medium duffel on the back. So this one's 33 liters. You can carry your tent, sleeping bag, things like that. Even that little Joey chair for your campsite. And this is a great setup for the back half of the bike. Now on the front half of the bike, I've got a tank bag. I would run these on any bike, whether it's around town or long distance touring, but this is the large Olympus tank bag, and I'm gonna be keeping my snacks in here, sunglasses, a microfiber towel to wipe my visor, and I like to put my phone in that top pocket. You can use the touch screen, and you also have access for a charging cord to come through there, and you can plug that into your accessory power. On the side, we have the Sidekick tank saddlebags, and most of the time I'm just running drinks in there, but sometimes I'll put a little tire kit or anything like that in the other one. You've got plenty of room to store anything you want quick access to. The next upgrade we did was tires. So your tires need to match the type of riding that you're gonna be doing. And with us going long distance, adventure touring, we need something that's gonna last a long time on those pavement roads. We went with the Dunlop Mission tires on front and rear. They claim a 50-50 tire. I think it leans a little more towards the street, but again, it's gonna give us that long wear, and it's still gonna work good in the dirt. Make no mistake about it, we're still taking this off-road. The next upgrade is a big one. So this is the Seat Concepts Comfort Seat. You can get this in different heights. This one's the standard height, and the foam density, it's gonna be way better than the stock seat, and it's also wider than the stock seat. So when you're putting down the miles, this is gonna be much more comfortable, and hopefully you're not gonna get as sore as you would with that stock seat. So again, a huge upgrade if you are laying down the miles like we are on this bike. So those are my top 5 upgrades for this adventure touring bike, but we've also done a lot of other things to upgrade it and get it customized. So another thing is the National Cycle V-Stream windscreen. This is the mid-height, and their claim to fame is with the V-shape, it's a lot quieter windshield than a standard one. Continuing with the body, we've got the Tusk headlight protector. If a rock gets kicked up or anything damages that headlight, it's really expensive to replace, so that's why we're running it. We don't want to have to fork out all the money to buy a new one. Now on the kickstand, I have the billet side stand foot, and what that does is if you ever park off-road, you've probably noticed in softer or uneven terrain that the kickstand can sink in and the bike starts tipping over. So if you don't want that to happen, you want to add one of these to your bike. Then moving up from there, we have the Alt Rider Adventure 2 foot pegs. Not only are these wider, but they're longer. It's a better surface area, and they're going to give you more grip than those stock pegs, so you can really take control of the bike. Then up here, we have our double take ADV mirrors. This is something we add to all of our bikes. They adjust really easily. They're super durable, and they seem like they vibrate less than the stock mirrors. Now over here on the left, we've got the Magura hydraulic clutch. If you know about these, you probably already added one to your bike. This is something I've done to several different bikes I've had and absolutely love them just because it's a smooth feel, it's a lighter pull, and you don't have to do any adjustments. For navigation, we are using the Zumo XT. We've got it paired with that RAM mount. These are super durable and easy to adjust. And this is sitting on top of our Tusk accessory dash panel. So the dash panel just tidies things up. You can run up to 5 switches on it. And again, you can mount things like your GPS on there as well. So kind of a cool setup. We've got our heated grips on this too. The Tusk grip heater kit, cool thing about it is you can run whatever grips you want. I've got some Renthal dual compound grips, that's what I like. But if you prefer something else, go ahead and get them on there. But the grip heater kit is just gonna help extend your riding season. Or even if you're in the mountains and it's cool in the morning, they're really nice to have. And then as things heat up, you can just flip them off. So definitely love those. Now to complement that, we've added the Tusk ATV and motorcycle seat heater. This thing has high and low settings and it's gonna keep you warm on those chilly days. Now we also upgraded our auxiliary lighting. If you've ever been out in the backcountry at night or off-roading, you know you need more light since you don't have street lights to assist your regular headlight. So you don't want to outrun the headlight. We went with the Thumper Jockey Crusader headlight kit. It's going to offer 5,000 lumens and let you see what you're coming up on. Now to go along with the lighting, we also added the Tusk LED sequential slim turn signals. Now you've got several different options. You're going to have to use the drop-down menu on our website, but they add a safety feature. So in the front, these are going to act as running lights as well as turn signals. And in the back, you've got brake lights as well as your turns.
And that's it for our Yamaha T7 build. Let us know what you guys think down in the comments and which bike you like better. And also, if you have a T7, let us know what you've done to yours. If you want to see the complete build list and you want to be able to get all of the parts that we've added, you can click the link in the description. And hey, we've got tons of other helpful videos on these T7s, whether it's product spotlights or how-to videos. Get some of this cool stuff installed. So that said, we'll see you in the next video.